Hey guys, Dr. Nathan Warren here. I wanted to take a minute and go over a study that I recently came across. This study was from Washington State University, and they collaborated with Duke University. And I think this is a big topic. So as you guys are joining live, again, please make sure that you like and share this, because I really think that this information can impact not only your kids, but it's impacting really a whole generation of kids, and it's also impacting your health. So we've got to get the word out on this. But really, when we look at, you guys know during this time, I mean, there is more household cleaners and sanitizers and those type of things everywhere. I even talked to a recent a manager over at Home Depot who was telling me how they're so worried about all of their tools, like degrading and rusting. They've seen it's worse than ever because they go through the store and sanitize everything nowadays, and all the cleaners that they're using. So I think that this study is really, really big overall, looking at your child's gut microbiome, and yours too. Even though this study was done on a child, again, it's really going to be impacting your health as well. And as you guys know, why this study is going to be so big is because when you look at the gut microbiome overall, we're talking about modulating the immune system. We're talking about its effect on hormones. We're talking about its effect on things like serotonin and the way the brain works. We're talking about even the way that it's able to break down food and nutrients, the way that your body metabolizes drugs or supplements. I mean, your gut microbiome determines just about everything in your body, and so having disruption there can really wreak havoc over on your health. So in this study, so what it was is researchers took 69 toddlers, all right? So 69 toddlers, they looked at blood and they looked at urine, all right? And so they wanted to first check the amount of chemical compounds in the blood. So they were checking mainly for phthalates and then PFASs. So they were looking for those two chemicals specifically, and so they analyzed urine and they analyzed blood. Then what they did is they also took a fecal sample, right? So they took a stool sample of these 69 toddlers, and what they found is that the toddlers that had higher amounts of compounds, chemical compounds in their blood, had more damage to their gut microbiome. So specifically, the higher amount of PFASs that were in the toddler's bloodstream, they actually had a decrease in their diversity of gut bacteria. And so this is, again, that's a big deal, because we're talking about your gut microbiome, and the diversity there, has implications on your immune function, hormone function, brain function, and again, infinite amount of other processes, even the way that you break down nutrients. So this is a big deal. Now, the more phthalates that was found in the blood or the urine samples of these toddlers, they actually had a decrease in the fungal microbiome of the toddler. So again, another big deal, because I think sometimes when we talk about fungus or yeast or things like that, a lot of people think that those shouldn't be in the gut at all, and that's just not true. We know that there's actually a whole host of an environment of fungal and yeast and things like that within the gut. So we need those things in there. So showing that, so 69 toddlers, all the toddlers that had higher amounts of chemical compounds in their blood and urine showed, again, more damage to their gut microbiome overall. And so this is a big deal overall, because think about where our environment is going to, guys. I mean, some kids are never leaving the house. They're on a computer all day long on Zoom classes. Then they're playing video games all day long. So they're breathing in all of this, household air. And when you look at phthalates and PFASs, when you look at what those are in, guys, they're in things like common household cleaners and sanitizers. They're actually in things like, the PFASs are in things like waterproof, rain jackets and waterproof clothing and all that kind of stuff. When you look at phthalates, I mean, they're in everything from your shower curtain to your clothes, to your carpet. So some of you with toddlers, if they're like mine, they were literally, when they were crawling, they were chewing on everything, putting everything in their mouth. And so again, you can imagine just this internal environment we are creating for our kids, and it actually breaks my heart. So we've got to change that up. When we know things like this, when we have studies that show us how much chemical compounds can have an effect on our gut microbiome that has an effect on just about every cellular process in the body. And we even know, guys, we even know that bacteria, gut microbiome, can have an effect on our genetic expression as well. So that's how important this stuff is. So, number one thing that we can do is obviously clean up our environment, right? Trying to, buy as many products in the house that are non-toxic, they don't contain these chemical compounds in it. Number two, maybe not sanitize every single thing that you're, that's in your house. Because again, guys, we need a good skin microbiome as well as the air that we breathe and some of the bacteria that we breathe in. We need microorganisms in our environment. And so clean it up, right? Non-toxic ingredients in the household products that you use, your beauty products, those type of things, and really just trying to keep your home as non-toxic as you can. And then some other things which may be even more important is, getting outside, getting your kids outside. Your kids should be literally playing in the mud, playing in the dirt, go for a hike. We know that when you look at the gut microbiome overall, even the air that you breathe in is really where you're going to inoculate your gut the most. You are going to get a massive amount of, again, good quality bacteria, or, again, more pathogenic, like, for example, if you're in a hospital compared to if you're in the Great Smoky Mountains hiking. So, let your kids touch everything outdoors in nature, touching sticks and animals and rocks and all of that kind of good stuff. So get your kids outside. One thing that you can use in the home is you can use something called homebiotics. We use that at home. So those of you that have kids or those that just want a really healthy environment, homebiotics is it's like a probiotic spray for your home, right? So you can really build up those good microbes and see some major differences there, especially if you've got kids that are crawling around and playing on the floor. That's going to really help out quite a bit. Now, as far as the toxins that your kids are exposed to, what are some things that you can do to really help them out? Well, you can get something like a really good quality air filter. So we use something like an air doctor is a really great one that you can do, and see some really great results with reducing kind of indoor allergens and chemicals that may be in the air. So you can do that, making sure that they're drinking really, really clean water, whether that's with a Berkey system, reverse osmosis system, but really making sure that you're getting a good water source. And then also, too, guys, making sure that you can supplement your kids with certain things that are going to help bind up those toxins. So one thing that my kids don't miss, really ever, are certain types of binders that are going to help bind up the toxins that they're exposed to on a daily basis. So I'm going to go over a few of those so that way, again, you know how to really combat, a toxic world. So one of the things that we use with our kids is some type of carbon binder. So we use something like Bind by Systemic Formulas, and it's got like activated carbon in it. It's got things like apple fiber, flaxseed. It's got some Bacillus coagulans in it, some dandelion root for the liver. But the main ingredients in it are like activated carbon. So we're talking about actually binding up some of the toxins that they're exposed to, especially in the gut. Another one is something like GI Detox Plus. This is a good one by Biobotanical Research. Guys, and all this stuff I'm going to go over, you actually can get it on our website. If you go over to doctorswarren.com, you can go to our shop. We made it very, very easy for you guys if you're wanting to get some of these products, or if you're just trying to read more about them, feel free to do that. So looking here, GI Detox Plus. This one has like zeolite clay in it, which a lot of you guys have heard of zeolite, and zeolite is an amazing, amazing thing to utilize to bind up toxins. And I'm going to talk about something else you can use for systemic toxin absorption, but this would be good for the gut. And it's also got things like aloe vera, and it's got some silica in it as well to bind up those toxins. So, some of you that have kids, what you could do is you could open a cap or two of this up. You can make them like a charcoal lemonade, maybe sweetened with stevia or monk fruit, and that'd be a really good thing to have, maybe 30 to 45 minutes before bed. That really just helps bind up toxins that they were exposed to throughout the day. Another one we like to use, something like Cyto Detox, or there's another good one like TRS, zeolite spray. These are going to be great because, again, you're talking about this one specifically is a liposomal zeolite that helps to bind to toxins, again, systemically, right? So our kids are not bombarded by some of these toxins. And then protect the gut, right? Getting some really good diverse bacteria. I like to rotate probiotics with our kids and with patients and clients that we work with, rotating different types of bacteria. I really like utilizing things like spore form probiotics. So we use something like Mega Sporebiotic that again works really, really well. Guys, something like a spore form probiotic, they're kind of fun for kids. You can even open them up. You can bake with them because they can withstand heat. I believe it's up to like 500 degrees or 475. So again, you can kind of bake these in. How would you like to have like some paleo muffins or, maybe some paleo donuts with some spore form probiotics in it? So again, building up that diversity of the gut. You know what else is really, really cool about this study? That may be the best part of this study is that they also found what they call dehalogenizing bacteria in the kids that had the highest amount of toxins. Now, what does that mean? Guys, they found bacteria that had actually adapted to clean up the toxins in the gut. That's right. Your gut is intelligent. Your body is so intelligent in the way it adapts with nature. So these toddlers that were exposed to more chemicals actually had more of a dehalogenizing bacteria in their gut that was working to try to clean up those toxic chemicals. So guess what that means? Love on the gut, right? Supply the gut with its basic materials that it needs to build up a diverse microbiome, and it'd be amazing, absolutely amazing what you're going to be able to see when you're actually looking at, affecting the gut and helping your kids, overall. So rotate some bacteria. So again, spore form bacteria. And then the last one I'll go over here, this is a good one as far as, if you're kind of starting your child off, maybe they've been on antibiotics before, maybe they've, done some type of antibiotic treatment for ear infections or those type of things. Guys, something like Restore Flora is a really good one. It's actually got some Saccharomyces boulardii in it, which is a healthy form of yeast. And a lot of you guys may have heard of that. And I'm a huge fan of Saccharomyces boulardii because it's naturally selective. So that means it actually works as not only helping to kind of, promote the growth of good bacteria, but also helping to kind of select other forms of bacteria and even yeast like Candida overgrowth and helping to beat that back. So I really like utilizing that one quite a bit. And then I almost forgot, another really great thing you guys can do is help your kids upregulate their glutathione production. So guess what that means? Don't flip and give them Tylenol all the time. It's one of the biggest glutathione depleters that we know of in our society. So instead, utilize things that are going to help upregulate glutathione. Things like selenium, giving them things like Brazil nuts. You can give them 2 or 3 Brazil nuts, on a daily basis to get around 150 to 200 micrograms of selenium. But selenium is going to really help with glutathione production. Things like zinc, so pumpkin seeds are a great thing to give to your kids as well. Consuming things like pastured eggs, especially the egg yolk, it's going to be a really good one to kind of boost glutathione production. Things like grass-fed beef is a really good source to help as well. So there's several different things out there to help upregulate glutathione. I know even things like a really, really clean, maybe grass-fed goat whey protein would be a good one from like Mount Capra, helps to upregulate glutathione production. Or you can use supplements as well. If you're going to supplement with glutathione, either number one, want it to be a liposomal form, or you want to use something that's going to help your liver naturally upregulate its own glutathione. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of this video. Again, the main point to take away from it is to make sure that you are nurturing and building up your microbiome and your kids' microbiomes. Keep a non-toxic house, build the diversity of the gut out, get them outside, and stop sanitizing everything. Some bacteria is actually really, really good, and protect your kids and their future, guys. And I'll see you guys next time.